Welcome back to my channel. It's Angela, and so I was gonna do this earlier, and for some reason the phone I usually do use to record, and I painted my nails for tomorrow night because tonight is October 30th, 2023. The phone I usually use to record is just not charging tonight, so I had to finagle another way to do this. But I am doing, which I've already done once in a group thing that she invited me to. Was not filmed or anything, but this is the fifth. It's the fourth or fifth story time by Amethyst Ascension, Rochelle over at Amethyst Ascension. So I thought I would go ahead and do the story for you guys. And I am using because it is almost Halloween, my Zombie Tarot, which I bought this pouch for it to go in, which is amazing. It keeps the book and everything in there together. So without further ado, let's get on with this story. I think my last story was pretty good that we did as a group, but that was just friends hanging out, getting to know each other through tarot, and I loved every second of it, and I hope she invites me to another one. Anyway, so this is what the story looks like, and it says, well, it was that time of year again. The season of the witch was upon us, and I was so excited for another spooky excursion into a graveyard. My friends and I decided to head out of town to an abandoned Victorian mansion that had an old spooky cemetery next to it. It was in a very rural area on a dirt road in the middle of nowhere. It was a tradition for us to do this on the full moon each year in October. However, this year we had decided to try a different location because we wanted to do a seance in the old mansion. There had been many urban legends that made their way around town about the house, and we wanted to see for ourselves. Now it says draw 3 or more cards to describe what one of the urban legends that you have heard. So here we get to draw cards. Three or more cards to describe the urban legend. There's 3 trying to fall out there. 1, 2, 3. You know what's hilarious is I pulled these 2 out earlier today for a completely different thing. Interesting. So we get the Page of Hazards, or the Page of Pentacles, the Magician, and Temperance. And because this is more of a story, I'm just taking what I'm seeing here, and I heard experiments right off the bat. So there's been experiments done. Look at him; he's chained to the mailbox because he's a zombie. And there's one hanging out the car in the back. I never noticed that. Like his hands hanging out. That's interesting. There's experiments that's been done on humans. And here's human, looks like testing in DNA. So yeah, we don't know what kind of experiments yet. I'm trying not to think of zombies because it's a zombie deck. I'm trying to think outside the box. So we'll think of here, let's continue with the story. It seemed like you had been driving for ages before you finally got to the dirt road that the house was on. As you turned down the dirt road, you noticed that the air seemed to be very heavy with a mist, and your chest grew tight with anticipation. Pulling up to the graveyard, you noticed all the Gothic statues and evergreen grass. The leaves had already started to fall all over the ground, covering many of the headstones. Approaching the old cemetery, or the old entrance to the yard, you noticed the rusted iron gates and 2 gargoyle statues guarding on either side. You thought to yourself, this must have been a very wealthy family with a deep history buried within these lots. You decided to start reading the headstones to see what type of stories would be revealed to you. Draw 3 or more cards to describe what stories these graves reveal to you. So I'm going to draw 3 cards here. And I hit the camera, sorry. 3 more cards to see what these graveyards reveal to me. Ooh, it almost feels like, so we got the Knight of Hazards or the Knight of Pentacles, the Queen of Hazards or the Queen of Pentacles, and the Two of Wands. It almost feels like, because here they got, it almost like, it feels like a Frankenstein's laboratory, not a zombie thing, but where he was putting, there's mad scientist guy was putting on, and that could have very well been his mansion. He was doing, and here's one that looks like he's trying to escape, getting away, but he got caught. He hit the pole instead, and he's chained to the steering wheel. It's almost like these are not zombies, but these are people that he manipulated somehow. Like this one, she doesn't have arms. This one, he's got a bone through his neck, like he's a living Frankenstein. She's been manipulated where her arms were cut off. Maybe he was in the process of doing something to her. She is chained. Well, there's a chain there. Maybe she got loose by cutting her arms off. Who knows? Interesting. This is kind of morbid this time. Not like the last one, although I did have serial killers in my last one I did with her. So, interesting. As the last of the sun sets and darkness begins to descend upon you and your friends, you decide it is time to head into the house. You travel back to the car first to grab all your supplies for the seance, and then off to the house you went. Upon approaching the house, you move up the stairs onto the front porch, being very careful not to fall through holes left by years of neglect. I can't read that word. Turning the handles to the elaborately decorated large double doors, you raise your eyebrows in surprise, looking back at your friends, and make your way inside. Draw 3 or more cards to describe what you see upon entering the mansion. So it's almost like the house was waiting and you were easily able to turn the knob and all that. So let's draw 3 or more cards to describe what you see upon entering the mansion. Do you see upon entering the mansion? Oh my gosh. Do you see upon entering the mansion? Okay, I almost feel like these are mannequins. Like they're statues of... Ooh, maybe that's what happens is they come alive on the full moon. Is they're real people that are like statues during the time during and that could be the urban legend, is that this mad scientist worked on people, changing out body parts and doing things to them, manipulating their bodies just to see how they ticked. And these are elements. These are probably, they look like statues while you're in the house because it's not a full moon yet. I think it is a full moon in the thing, but they're statues that come alive on the full moon. That creeps me out. Okay, now it says, grabbing your flashlight, you find a room toward the back of the house that seemed perfect for the seance. It had a large brick fireplace and built-in bookcases on either side, which still surprisingly housed some books. Although the wallpaper was peeling off the walls in areas, you can tell it had been very beautifully decorated at one time. You laid out a large blanket on the floor and put the spirit board in the center. You placed candles all around the room, creating the perfect atmosphere to proceed. With the candlelight creating dancing shadows, we all sat down to begin our spirit work. Draw 3 or more cards to answer the following spirit communications. So this, and I know one person, when we did the group thing, I think actually had a person coming through. But the first question is, who is here with us? So we're going to draw a card. So who is here with us? Wow. Got the creepy baby. It's a creepy baby. Interesting. Oh, maybe they were... Oh. So there could be a mad scientist, and he didn't go mad until he had a child. This child, there was something wrong with it. And so he was using all these people to, not to see how they tick, but maybe trying to cure his baby. And the baby still died. And then it just kind of made him mad, and he continued his experiments on people. Interesting. So number 2, are we connected somehow? Are we connected somehow? Ooh, the death card. And it's weird because I got that card earlier today. For my card of the day, I got the death card and the devil card. And then I had an issue at work with a vendor, and he was kind of an a-hole. I had to report him. It was a whole thing. So I was like, yeah, the devil part's coming up. And there we have the 4 of Wands here. Let's pull one more. And I know I always navigate toward movies, and we got the freaking 5 of Wands, which is my forever stalker card. I got kind of like what we see on The Mummy, where he's like, death is only the beginning. I feel like it's almost like we're related not related, but it connects to me in that we all die. We all born and we all die. Whether it be of conflict or other. The 4 of Wands. Okay, so if you see the card before the 4 of Wands, they're trying to get into, there's people in here having a party, and the zombies are trying to get in. And this, of course, is the 4 of Wands, that after a moment where they've gotten in, now they're eating the people, and the cake and presents are still sitting there untouched. I find that fascinating. This could be like there was an uprising because these people realized what he was doing to them, and they killed him. That's interesting. But I feel no connection to that whatsoever. So I'm going to say no. They are not connected to me. And why are you reaching out to us? This card, the third question. Why are you reaching out to me? Ooh. We got the Moon, the Chariot, which is my soul card, and the 7 of Swords. I almost feel like it's the professor reaching out, and he's like, some of these people are not good. And how they come alive at on a full moon. They're trying to figure out how to get out of this town. Interesting. And all they got to do is find this key to unlock something that gets them out of the town, and then they could basically infect the world. Not with being a zombie, but with the illness, whatever illness actually is infected his child. He's infected these people with this same virus. And they're not zombies, but it's not good. They basically can't die. Interesting. Number 4. How are you able to speak through us? How are you able to speak to us through this spirit board? How are you? So it's kind of like asking, what are the signs? What can I look for to see that you're speaking to me through this spirit board? There's a tower. Oh, oh my gosh, not a lightning rod, but kind of an antenna. There's an antenna. Either they built an antenna, or no, it's the professor. There's an antenna there that were. It's almost like his tools are his lightning rods, and utilizing his tools will help bring him forth. Number 5, what is it like where you are at? What is it like where you're at? What is it like where you're at? I almost feel like he's being maybe tortured by whatever spirits he's killed in the past. And then we got, that was the 10 of Swords, the Emperor, and then the 10 of Wands. So yeah, he's being just tortured constantly. Maybe he's being disemboweled, or he's being treated like he treated them. And number 6, do you have a special message for me? I'm almost scared. Do you have a special message for me? I got the Ace of Cups and the 9 of Wands. It's almost like because you see these are all zombies here, right? They're all zombies, except for these 2 in the front, which are, this one's clearly going to be, because she's getting bit right now. But they all have smiles on their face, and then she's got a smile on her face, even though she's just ahead. So it's almost like, be wary of things, or those that even with you. And this was a card I thought I was going to pull earlier. That could be also something I saw in the room. But yeah, it's kind of like he's saying be wary, because those with you may not be who you think they are. So my crew, my girlfriends that are with me, may be working with these beings. That's interesting, because that did not come up before. It says you close out the spirit session with your friends and return home, blessed Samhain. So that's the end of my reading, story time, whatever you want to call it. This one was kind of morbid, and just because I knew I wanted to use this tarot deck, I knew it would be. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, don't hesitate to comment below. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification button so you're alerted to any future videos. And you all have a good night. Bye.